This is a video on the internet. Dozens of people sat in a row, each holding a fishing rod, and pull up a fish every second. No bait, no hook. What kind of fish are they fishing? Why don't they use a fishing net? This must be a fake video. But look closely. There are plenty of these videos on the internet. It doesn't look like a fake prank. In fact, these fish that are caught are the protagonists of our story today, which is tuna. It's one of the most industriously evolved fish in the ocean. It keeps swimming and swimming for 400 million years and finally got out of the delicious genetic lock. But human turned it back to being delicious using their intelligence. It only took 30 years for it to turn from the most successfully evolved fish to the most unfortunate fish. The fastest fish is commonly known as the sailfish, with a long, sharp thorn. It has a top speed of 175 km/h. This is a two-men bluefin tuna. It just bursted with an acceleration of 2G and overtook the sailfish at an instantaneous speed of 209 km/h. This is another tuum yellowfin tuna. It accelerates and bursted with an acceleration of 3.27 G. Until it reached an instantaneous speed of nearly 320 km/h and overtook the sailfish. So what is the concept of 3.27 G? When a roller coaster passed the lowest point, its acceleration is about 1.5 G. An average person may be faint if he took an impact from a 2G acceleration. Tuna has the strong power to compete with all kinds of racing cars. It's like a bullet in the ocean that no one can catch up with it. In an aquarium in Japan, someone took a picture of the story of a tuna with perfect acceleration. Look carefully. It might be so fast you wouldn't even know it. Tuna are particularly sensitive to shock. Once they are stimulated, they will accelerate wildly out of control. In this video, probably the flash on the tourist's hand has scared it and caused this tragedy. Except for the perfect acceleration, the scientists also found that there is a set of hydraulic steering system has appeared in its body by evolution. This is the first time humans have discovered a hydraulic system in the body of vertebrate. Why are the boats all flying? Even the large yachts are flying. Why does the sailboat goes faster than the wind? Actually, it's because the ships were fitted with hydrofoil. The lateral thrust from the hydrofoil enables sailboat to drift at right angles. You can also take advantage of this lateral thrust to make the sailboat go faster than the wind. The US military even used the hydrofoil principle to design an extremely fast underwater reconnaissance aircraft. In 2017, the scientists said that the most perfect hydrofoil on the planet belonged to tuna. Human underwater reconnaissance aircraft, the cruise missile. There's a lot more things that human can learn from tuna. The Chinese military recently released a video of a missile. This right-angled drift must be familiar to tuna. It's definitely the hydraulic system working. Tuna is a perfect motor machine. They can grow up to 3 meter long and weigh half a ton. The common ones can grow up to 1 meter long and weigh 200 kilograms. Their life expectancy is 20 to 50 years. They are carnivorous. They will eat meat equal to 18% of their own weight every day. That's equivalent to 50 kilos a girl who have to eat 8 big roast chickens every day. It evolved its gills and scales because it is pursuing a more aggressive power, just like a shark, which have to swim constantly to let the water flow over the gills so that it can breathe. It can't stop even when it is asleep. Stop swimming means death by suffocation. A tuna needs to swim 150 kilometers in the sea every day, which means it circles the Earth 1.4 times a year and 42 times in a lifetime. It even evolved to become a warm-blooded fish. That is, just like mammals and birds with fast blood circulation, to let the body temperature be constant so that it could provide more power to the whole organism. It's also the only one warm-blooded bony fish. It's been evolving so hard for 400 million years. Its body is full of hemoglobin and myoglobin, super strong muscle fibers, and perfect fat tissue. Finally, it turned itself into a flesh cannonball. With this body, it is very corruptible. After the ancient people caught a tuna fish, unless it's dissected on board and eaten as sashimi, or when they bring it back to shore, it already becomes stinks and unable to eat. Also, as it's so big, it can't be finished in 1 or 2 meals. In addition, it has evolved to have a set of camouflage system. Its dorsal fin will reflect yellow, blue, or black light, while its belly will reflect white light, so for both can't viewing it from the water surface by seabirds and humans or from the underwater by a whale or a shark. It can blend with natural light and hide itself. And it was a very successful strategy. More than 3,000 years ago, the sailors of the Mediterranean thought of catching tuna as a kind of exciting game. At the time when tunas migrate to the Mediterranean to spawn, the sailors will use dozens or hundreds of big ships to form a manipulated labyrinth of nets. Let the tuna swim in and catch them all. Such carnival is like proving to nature that, look, humans are stronger. When the carnival is over, the sailors will usually cut the fleshy belly of a tuna off and eat it immediately, or take it ashore and eat it. This part of meat is more delicious and less prone to corruption. This tradition has continued to the modern times. When we had the modern fishing industry, large ships, industrial fishing methods are all developed. We are still not interested in tuna and just feel that it would be a pity to throw such a big fish away. The ship got space anyway, so just take it back and use it to make cat food. There's an official record of Boston in 1959. It says that those ships that carry large bluefin tuna have to pay $20 million to send the tuna to the town dump, because this big thing will be really smelly after only a few days. Even in Japan, where people love sashimi, the fishmongers of the time also called tuna Japanese words that I can't pronounce. It probably means that even the cats will all walk right over it. In 1937, the first international tuna fishing competition has been organized locally. In the competition every year, there are 50-70 large bluefin tuna have been caught ashore. The average weight is as heavy as 190 kilograms. After the fishing players have taken photos with these big fish, they throw them straight back into the sea. The highest record came from a sea angler named Ken Fraser. He once caught a 4 meters long, 678 kilos of bluefin tuna. But 34 years later, in 2013, a 222-kilo bluefin tuna was sold in Japan with a whopping price of $3.1 million. What happened in those 34 years? Back to 1972, a young man strolls in front of a labyrinth of fish stalls. His name is Akira Okazaki. He is a manager at Japan Air Cargo. He is looking for inspiration. It is because every time the Japanese airline go to North America, it will bring back a lot of TV sets, refrigerators, and other electronic products. But such American goods are not selling well. It's not a good deal. Can it get something from there back to Japan to sell them at a high price? Suddenly, he heard a mother say to the fishmonger, "Eat red meat. White meat is not good. Beef is better than fish. People in Europe and America always eat beef." Okazaki was inspired at once. He knows what he's looking for. It is tuna fish. First, tuna swim around the globe once and a half a year, so its flesh was all tight, fresh red meat. Second, Japan's economy blast off after its defeat. Now the people can afford it as money is plentiful. Third, when the tuna is brought back from North America, he can tell the people that it's North American product, beef from the sea, king of sashimi. The people will pay the bill absolutely. Fourth, the planes of Japan Airlines have just equipped with a large cold chain, which means that preservation is not a problem. The most important thing is, in North America, tunas are rubbish that could only be disposed if you pay $20. It was a genius marketing plan. On August 14, 1972, in Tsukiji Market, 5 bluefin tuna from Canada were fissert sold, and the price went for a whopping $40,000. Soon, Japan Airline planes all equipped the cold chain system. Then, North American fishing boats, Japanese fishing boats all over the world have also installed the cold chain system. The tune fishing boats process the fish directly on board, transport in the cold chain system, and sell them to the Japanese. The way to fish tuna one by one using a fishing rod is to ensure the most delicious freshness of the fish. Because if you catch it in a net, after the tunas got caught in the net, they will suffocate and die. The flesh bombs in their body will explode. When the fish come on board, the quality of the meat will be bad. Fortunately, in a school of tuna, they have the habit of rushing for food. If you find a school of tuna on a cruise, let drop a lot of bait. Then by using a hook without a barb, you can hook one in a second. Up to now, there are many types of steamed fish in the world that are processed into many delicious dishes. Because of that, the number has decreased significantly, and some species are even facing absolute danger. For example, the southern bluefin tuna, the Atlantic bluefin tuna, from the most successful fish to the most unfortunate fish. Perhaps this is a tuna's epitaph, but maybe they're still evolving. They may be swimming even deeper into the ocean to their sweet home. Well, that's all for today's story. Thank you for watching, and see you again.